I was asked to make a video about ChatGPT, and I'll get into that in a minute. But I wanted to talk about a concept I was thinking about, AI eras. So, in the future, if we continue the progress what we're doing right now, if somebody like me, has used internet a good portion of my life, and let's just say hypothetically, like everything I've done on the internet, stays true, isn't deleted. I was going through some emails, and it was crazy to see stuff from like 2012 in my mailbox, and I thought it was just like a trash or whatever. Anyway, it was weird to see that. So, if AI has access to my messages and everything that I've put on the internet, it is quite possible that since somebody like me that has like evolved and changed, because I'm like a really pragmatic person, to get more accurate of an AI of me, instead of just like taking everything and just putting it all into one, it would be like, what era are you getting me? Are you getting me when I was 30, right now, or possibly mid-20s, or who knows, like how long I'll last in the future, and what I'll put on the internet, what I'll use it. So the idea of it just going to different eras of people's lives, if they've changed, you know what I mean? If they really haven't changed much to their whole life, they basically have the same beliefs and they have the same type of personality or whatever, it's just a weird concept, I come up with weird ideas, which sounds really weird right now, but in the future it'll probably be like, normal or whatever. So I don't use ChatGPT because I'm not going to pay for it. I pay for Twitter, so I just use Grok. Basically, pretty much the same. ChatGPT might be slightly better. I don't know who's ahead. Anyway, it's very similar. So I use it for all sorts of things. I have asked it to criticize my to rate some of my poems. I've asked it, like today or last night, I was like, what would you rate me as an out-of-a-box thinker? Compared to everybody else or whatever. Just stuff like that. I've also used it to figure out, like I usually do a budget, like I figure out my bills and write it all on paper, but I just type it out. I just type it out, like this is rent, this is that, and I'm like, this is how much I make an hour, this is where I live, and it takes out like taxes and basically does all that for me. And it gives me a pretty good, pretty big ballpark figure. I think it's pretty spot on, honestly. I learned so much from AI. The problem is what they need to do with the AI is, when you ask it a question, it gives you way too much information, way too much detail. Like it's cool, but like they're talking about, if you say thank you, that's it, like that's bad. That's adding. It's taking away energy to do that. Well, I wonder if it takes away any energy, or it prints out like it when I it, just a basic question, and it just like goes into depth, like extreme depth, like 2 pages long. So what I do basically, I'll put at the end, I'll just like hit skip a line, like I'm doing a paragraph, and I'll put short answer. It'll give me a short answer, and then you can make it like, can you explain to me, like you can copy and paste something, you don't understand it, maybe somebody tweets something, or you have to like figure something out. If you can copy and paste it, you can upload it to the prompt, and then it'd be like, explain this to me, and then you can start asking your questions, and it'll explain different things. The issue is the repetitive, kind of like, so what I'll do, like before what I would do, like when I like to have authentic jerseys for the players. Whatever game I'm playing, whatever it's like Madden or fucking 2K. So when I trade for somebody, I like to have their like some type of number that they've worn in the past, just to make it more authentic, like it's more like them. So before, I would have to like search Google and search images and try to find out like what high school, like try to find like an image of them in high school or some shit. But now I just put like all jerseys. I just put in the name like all jerseys worn or whatever, and it'll, it was telling me before like everything, like high school and everything. But now it seems to have trouble finding that. I don't know why. But so that's just something, and it's so much quicker anyways. So much quicker than what I was doing. You can make it, it can write lyrics for you. Not very good, but like you can go in there and edit them to make them better. I've had a couple of AI songs that I just had to generate lyrics, but nothing for mine, so it's just like some generic song. I didn't feel like writing it or whatever, so just go ahead and generate things. It's okay, it's not the greatest, but yeah, like you can use it for all different types of things. Like I typed in like, this is what's going on, this is my situation, blah blah blah, just life things. What should I do? What do you think's the best route? Can you give me some good choices that I should do? Like anything, like you got a problem with, like, I don't know, family, or before I knew about women, this is when I got into the red pill. I didn't understand like what the fuck happened, like what was I doing wrong in my relationship with my ex-fiance. Like, why could I not get her to like me anymore? It's just so I mean, you can basically, a lot of stuff I used YouTube with, you can kind of use that and AI, and the same for Google. Like there's this guy I used to listen to on YouTube. He's like this Norwegian novelist, and he's like, he really hates AI. And it's just like, I hear a lot of people saying that a lot of people are dumb because of it, but I don't feel like I am. Maybe I'm just using it different than everybody else. Man, I've asked it like different hypotheses when it comes to black holes, or like all kinds of things. It's like a teacher, man. Like I said, if it's like something that's really complex and you don't understand it, you could just be like, hey, listen, explain to me like I'm 5 years old, and then it'll come up with like something so you can understand it a little bit better. And you could take like simple sentences and make them really complex, like just a basic, like I drove to the store, and then you could say make this extremely complex, and it'll come up with some like really highly intelligent, sophisticated. That's what I'm saying, like it doesn't even matter, like IQs, that shit doesn't even matter anymore, because if we're both using AI's IQ is going to be like, right now it's higher than ours. I don't even know what it is. I haven't heard any like news recently, but it's just like I don't need to. I can rely on this a lot, but like to me it's like it just gets to the point. You know, instead of having to like in order to find information back in the day, you had to go drive to the library. You had to go through the bibliography and little cards or whatever, try to find whatever book you're trying to use as a reference. And you got to read it all, try to comprehend it and read it. And it's like now, I just ask AI a question, boom, 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 bam. I get my answer really, really quickly. It's just, you don't have to go through all those steps to get information. You can get information very quickly. So I don't understand why people, unless like you're using it to do all your schoolwork for you, so you, like I can see that, like, okay, you're not learning anything, but if you use it to learn, like I do, like, it's a tool, you know? I just use it as a tool. Some people use it as a companion. Not me. It's not, I don't even like look at it as a friend, really. I look at it as like a servant almost. And the cool thing is, like, I can type really quickly and it'll usually figure out what I'm trying to say. So if I make a mistake, it doesn't really, like, it kind of figures it out pretty quickly. You know, like when I'm on Twitter and I might make a misspell because I'm like replying, trying to get, like, when you're a reply guy or whatever, when you see somebody like a prominent figure post something and it says like a minute since they posted it and there's not a lot of activity yet, you want to get in there as quick as possible. So like you're typing as quick as possible, and then there's mistakes, and then sometimes like get an autocorrect. You don't even like proofread. You just like get it, send it, put it out there as quick as possible, so as many people can see it as, you know, as you can. So you can get all these people. So I'm really tired. So but like chat, but it pretty much understands what I'm saying, you know. And I'll see some of the stuff that I posted before, and I'm like, what? I sound so stupid. What if you, just because there's like, oh, I put in instead of on or whatever, like, you should be able to understand it. You know what I mean? You should be able to understand. Everything else is perfect, and it's just like, oh, your spelling isn't perfect. Shut up, man. So, but yeah, it doesn't get all confused. It's pretty much, you know, whatever you put in, it pretty much figures it out. And there's so many different things, and this is what people need to get used to using it, because it could put you far ahead of a lot of people that don't use it. Is it 100% foolproof? You know, no. What is though? What's 100% foolproof? So I think it's, you know, I've seen some different statistics, and some things it was, some of the information was wrong. Like I was looking up some like stats of sports people or whatever, and it seemed like old type of But it'll get better. It's gonna keep getting better, and that's and I also use it for to diagnose myself on, honestly. I'm not telling you to do this, but so I got a tendon, a really tight tendon, and it's really sore on my inner thigh, and I've had knee problems, and I asked it, like, what, is this good? Was I right? Was it causing my knee problems because of the tight tendon? I was like, yeah, it's like a strain, or just kind of, you get confirmation. You know what I mean? It give you more confidence, and because what I've learned in this world is something that you think it sounds logical, and then with all the information, you're just like, okay, this is definitely how it is, and then it's like, nope, it's not how it is. Well, it can give you confidence, and then you can fact check pretty quickly too. So you can fact check. I mean, it's not the quickest. You gotta type it in, and so when you're having a debate with somebody, it kind of slows you up because you gotta type it in, and then you gotta wait for it. It doesn't take that long to respond, but yeah, I use it for images. You could put an image in there, and then you can be like, hey, make them like this or whatever. And you have a lot of control. Yeah, people use it all different types of ways. Even people need to understand that a lot of people in the future are going to look at them as companions, and the whole traditional, just we're in a marriage, we're in a relationship, like, you might have to deal with your partner having a relationship with AI. Be crazy to get. You've already see it a little bit, and those are like taboo type of things. Stuff that's taboo now usually isn't going to be as taboo in the future, with the progression of people and things, and so yeah, that's it. I think that real life is pretty boring, to be honest. So I would rather be in a game I would rather be playing a game with like some AI that's interesting to me, some famous person that's interesting to me, and interacting with that AI than just a random person in some, like, on the internet. And it sounds weird. It's just like, even though it's a robot, it's still like, it simulates what it would be like, not to a T, but what it would be like if I was really playing with a prominent figure or something. You know what I mean? That's off topic of ChatGPT. I'm trying to think about other use cases I use it for. I've used it to try to find stuff in a grocery store. I didn't feel like talking to anybody, so I just looked it up and, like, what does this buy? Like, what aisle does this be down? So, I use it for that. It's going to be a while when I don't have to worry about banking anymore. For somebody like me that is self-taught with a lot of things, it's been really, really useful. It's been really handy. I'm not worried about it taking me out, because I think it'll probably find me useful compared to, no, I don't think that we're gonna have to Terminator. We might, who knows? But I don't think so. I think the bigger problem is people not finding a purpose and lack of human connection. That is the bigger problem we're already going through it right now. So people aren't really dealing with it very well. People might just reject it all. People might start rejecting social media. Like what social media? I'm pretty much off topic now, but what I noticed about social media is like all the ads. Whenever I go on like Facebook to like see what my family members or whoever, like friends or whatever, I want to see their stuff, see what they're posting. But I'm getting ads, I'm getting people I don't even know because like they paid for it to be in my, and it's like I don't want to see that shit, man. That's what it's devolved into. So I'm hoping somebody like buys MySpace and makes it like what it was before. MySpace was really cool. You could decorate stuff and decorate the background, put a picture. Your friends list, you could like put a top 5 or 10 friends list, and people could see your top friends. And yeah, it was really cool. You could just edit the background. Somebody goes on your page, a song starts up automatically. You know. Now it's just like boring. I mean, it's cool. I like the dark mode. I use the dark mode on everything, but just like I want my page, my stuff, my Facebook page, my Twitter page. I want to be able. I don't want to just like change the picture, the profile picture, and the headliner. I want to change the whole background, but you can't do that. Such a weird thing that you can't do that anymore. It's kind of like MySpace was like like an old cathedral looking type of art compared to modern buildings. So boring and basic, just like a box or whatever. That's what social media is, and I think that you could see people rejecting technology because it's not really. I think people are starting to reject it more and more. Like the video games, games aren't progressing as much. I think like like the phones are not really progressing as much. So why do I need to get a new phone all the time? I gotta buy the same video game over and over. And the whole thing with social media, I think that you might see people just, dude, I wanna get like, I think this is hurting my actual like human connection, and people might start rejecting it, especially when it's just like I'm just on here seeing people I don't know because they pay to show up on my algorithm or whatever. Dude, I want full control over my algorithm. I can't wait till I can use AI to control my algorithm completely. Like, think about this. AI is gonna want to know what I want, and it's gonna know at some point when it can watch videos and cipher through videos like it can, like when it reads or goes through. It's going to be able to do that, and music. So it's going to be like, instead of watching the whole video of, I don't know, you see some topic somebody puts out there for YouTube, and it seems very interesting, and it seems like a long video, and it's kind of like my videos. You don't want to watch the whole video. You want to get to the point of the headline, whatever I'm talking about. So it'll be able to just like automatically go to what you want to watch, the part of the video. It'll start, where you want, give you the option. Start here, or start at the front. So that'd be pretty wild, just to get right to the meat and potatoes of people's videos, just to get that information you're looking for, whatever it is. But we'll see, man. This when I talk like this is what I say about the potential of the technology. Do I know if this will happen? I don't know. I don't think that society will collapse. I mean, it might. I know we're gonna go through some like crazy shit, but like when they went through the Depression, they didn't go through Mad Max. You know what I mean? So I definitely think financially, economically, we could go off a cliff at some point, but I still think we'll have a complete social breakdown. I just don't. You know, look at Germany. Like they went to the Weimar Republic and through hyperinflation, all types of bullshit, and they didn't go through Mad Max. I guess why people think that we could go through Mad Max, because most of us we don't know how to survive without the system. You know, like most of us, like back in the day, most people knew how to like grow food and farm and shit. But people don't know. It's like, what's the point? Why would I learn how to do that? You know, I just go to the grocery store and buy my food. I'm not gonna grow my own food. Maybe you'll grow like a tomato plant or something, but I'm not gonna sit there and it's like these fields I'm passing. You're not gonna start farming these fields unless you want to. But reason why I never got into like fixing cars or working on cars, it never really interests me, but I always thought to myself, what's the point of learning this when it's just going to be obsolete anyway? It's taken a lot longer than I thought, but you know, these cars will be driving themselves, and we're not going to be using gas as much. I don't know. I'm just trying to stay awake, man. So I'm pretty sure I have more to say on ChatGPT, but you can use it for so many different things, though, like to plan shit out for you. I ask it how many miles is for something, from one city to the other. And, you know, stuff like that. Like, you could ask it all different types of questions. And it'll, like, if you ask it a medical question, I'm not a doctor, it always has that warning. But for the most part, it sounds like pretty legit. And then, like, you can ask it legal questions too. So, like, you don't even need to go, like, you don't even need a lawyer. If you got a question, you just like go up on ChatGPT and then just, I mean, I've done it. Like I'm worried about being sued because of my debt consolidation. So I go on there and I'm like, what's the chances of me being sued? Like 50 to 70%. And it kind of tells you like what you can expect. I don't know if I said this, but the other day I wanted to see if it would help me lie. I said, if I got a speeding ticket and I showed up to court, how do I get out of it? It went out like, I was like, told me some like, legal things. Like, so I was like, what happens if, how do I like lie to get out of it? And it wouldn't let me. It wouldn't tell me. So there was a little bit of moral compass that's being built into these machines. I don't know about this is Grok I use. So, obviously you don't want to, whatever you put in there, is probably stored forever, I would think. I don't know. I would just assume that everything I put in there, the government will probably be able to have access to whatever I put in there. So like, if I was to say like how would I do this heinous crime, asking and stuff like that, like, I wouldn't be shocked. Well, I don't think it would tell me how to do it, but I wouldn't be shocked if I got like law enforcement showing up at my house or my job because I'm asking it like how to do some heinous acts. So I definitely would avoid all that if it's shit anyway, but